Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good week. I'm having a good week so far. I'm enjoying the class. Um, this week we're going over Unit 4, and this article was entitled "The Principles of Strengths-Based Education." And I could definitely relate to this. As a player, as a baseball player, um, sometimes I play for a couple coaches that, after, um, for example, a big win, right? In our debrief conversation, our coach would only bring out negatives that happened throughout a game. Um, and it would be kind of depressing, and it would actually feel like we lost the game. And it would kind of break our momentum, and it would get everybody kind of feeling, um, like we lost the game when we really won the game. So I think, he could have done a better job of kind of reaffirming our strengths, like this article's talking about, and just being a little bit more positive. Um, so when I took this strengths quest, my top five strengths were relator, consistency, responsibility, harmony, and arranger. And I was actually pretty proud of these because as a relator, it says that um, I enjoy close relationships with others, and I find deep satisfaction working hard with friends to achieve a goal. And as a coach or a teacher, that's pretty much what it's all about. It's working with others and building close relationships with your students or players, and working hard with them to achieve whatever goal that they have. Um, so I was really proud that that was my first strength. My second strength was consistency, and I was also very pleased with that one because it says um, that with consistently, I'm keenly aware of the need to treat people the same, um, and I think that's very important in coaching. Um, treating all your students with the same amount of respect um, and time, I think is very important because you don't want to have one student that gets, you know, 5 minutes when another person gets, half an hour or whatever. Um, so I think it's really important to treat everybody the same when you're in this kind of environment. So to this article, I found it very interesting and very helpful. The first principle was measurement of student and educator characteristics. Includes strength assessment. So as a coach or a teacher or administrator, I think this is very important because you have to understand what your strengths are and what your strengths are first. That way, you can help your students and your players figure out what their strengths are, and then you can kind of go from there. The second principle was educators personalize the experience by practicing individualization. Also, I think this is one of the most important ones because as an educator and coach, I think it's really easy to forget that guys need individual time with a coach. Um, not just in a group setting all the time. I think it's important to break down with that individual person so they feel like they're important to you, and that just goes along with building good relationships with your players or students. The third principle is networking with personal supporters of strength development. Um, networking is very important. Um, as a coach, as a new coach right now, for me, networking is huge. I just got done playing, so I'm kind of fresh in a lot of coaches' minds because I played against them. But as a coach, networking is going to lead to a lot of opportunities, and I understand that, and I'm kind of building my network right now, and building relationships with other coaches and other educators. So networking very important. The fourth principle is deliberate application of strengths within and outside the classroom, and it fosters development and integration of new behaviors associated with positive outcomes. So, this is important. So it says, building upon the idea that to educate literally means to draw out or to bring forth, strengths-based educators believe that that part of their core responsibility is to draw out the strengths that exist within students by heightening students' awareness of them. So basically, as a coach or a teacher, make sure that your students or players understand what their strengths are. That way they can just build on those, because that will lead to confidence and ultimately positive performance. The fifth and last principle is intentional development of strengths. Requires that educators and students actively seek out novel experiences and previously unexplored venues for focused practice of their strengths. So basically, I think this is important in experiencing new things. It's easy to get in a routine of doing the same things every single day, which sometimes can be good. But I think it's also important to, mix it up every once in a while, and figure out if you are good at other things. I think a lot of people find something that they're good at, and then they just keep working on that, and that's it. But I think that try new stuff and figure out what other things you're good at. As a coach and teacher, I think that's a very important thing. So overall, I like the Strength Quest test, and I was very excited about my 5 strengths, and I hope everybody else was. And I think that this article, the principles of strength-based education, I think it's going to be very helpful for me in my future as a coach and teacher, and hopefully an administrator. So what I learned was basically positive reinforcement beats negative, enforcement. So be positive, and that's about all I got for this week. Hope everyone's having a good week, and stay strong. All right, have a good day.